Show us your teeth. The Japanese women think it's code for something worse. Leyte POW camp. November 1944. Rain hammers the medical tent like artillery. 38 Japanese nurses stand in line. They've been captured for 3 days, haven't eaten in 2. Now American soldiers want to see their teeth? The command makes no sense, unless Kore wa hajimari da. This is the beginning. Nurse Kimura whispers it. She's 24, head nurse at a field hospital until last week. She knows what armies do to women. The teeth inspection must be code. Check the goods before... She can't finish the thought. The American pointing at their mouths is a dentist, Captain Stevens. But they don't know that. They see uniform, male, enemy, power. Only 200 Japanese women POWs were captured in the entire war. These 38 represent the largest single group. They expect torture, rape, death, in that order. Open, Stevens says through the interpreter. The women clamp their mouths shut tighter. Some are shaking. Rain drums harder. Quick question, drop a comment. What city are you watching from? Because what happens next still appears in medical journals 70 years later. Yuki is 18, youngest here. She's gripping the hand of the woman next to her so hard her knuckles are white. She's heard the stories, American soldiers collecting Japanese teeth as trophies, gold teeth especially. Stevens approaches the first woman, Tanaka, 31, senior nurse. Please, he says, medical inspection. Medical. That word again. Like with German women, it was always medical before the real horror began. Tanaka looks at the others. If someone must be first, she'll protect them. She opens her mouth, just barely, lips trembling. Stevens leans forward with a small flashlight, takes one look. His tools clatter to the ground. Jesus Christ, get the surgical kit. Now. The other Americans scramble, running, urgent. The Japanese women freeze. This is it. Whatever they're planning starts now. But Stevens isn't looking at Tanaka like prey. He's looking at her like a medical emergency. How long? He asks through the interpreter. How long has the infection been there? Infection? The first woman opens her mouth, and the American dentist drops his tools. 28 cavities, 3 abscesses, untreated for 2 years. That's just Tanaka's mouth. The infection has spread to her jaw, maybe beyond. Stevens can smell the rot from 2 feet away. How she's still standing is a miracle. When did you last see a dentist? He asks. 1942? 2 years. 2 years of untreated dental disease, every meal agony, every breath careful, but showing pain was weakness, and weakness meant being left behind. Itami wa meiyo. Pain is honor. That's what they were taught. Endure, never complain, never show suffering, die with dignity rather than burden others. Stevens examines the next woman, worse, abscess so large it's distorting her face. The one, after that, broken teeth, jagged edges, cutting her tongue and cheeks, infected cuts, swollen gums, bleeding constantly. 95% of Japanese POWs had severe dental disease. Without treatment, the infection death rate was 30%. These women are walking time bombs. The infection will reach their hearts, their brains. They'll be dead in weeks. Set up surgery stations, Stevens orders. All of them. Every dental kit we have. The Japanese women watch Americans running, setting up equipment, expensive equipment, sterilizing tools, preparing anesthetic. For them? For enemies? Kimura's mouth is clamped shut. She has her own secret. Gold teeth, not originally hers. Taken from dead Americans by Japanese command, melted down, refitted. She's carrying enemy gold in her mouth. The smell fills the tent now. 38 mouths with varying degrees of rot. Infection, disease. The Americans are masking up, not from disgust, from medical protocol. We need more Novocaine, Stevens calls. All of it. Novocaine. The precious anesthetic, worth its weight in gold, literally. They're going to use it on Japanese prisoners? Yuki watches them prepare. This doesn't match anything she was told. Americans were supposed to be barbarians, extracting teeth for trophies. Instead, they're preparing to save teeth? Stevens approaches each woman. Quick examination, triage notes, worst cases first. He's not rough, not cruel, professional, focused. You, he points to Tanaka. Chair, now. She hesitates. This could still be a trick. But the Americans don't just examine, they prepare to operate immediately. American dentists use precious Novocaine on enemy prisoners. The needle slides into Tanaka's gum. She flinches, expects pain. Instead, numbness, blessed numbness. For the first time in months, that quadrant of her mouth doesn't throb. Captain Stevens works with precision, drill whirring, cleaning out infection, years of rot being excavated. The suction tube gurgles with blood and pus. $50. That's what each vial of Novocaine costs in 1944. More than most soldiers make in a month. The Americans use 100 vials on these 38 Japanese women. $5,000 of anesthetic. On enemies. Nais muda ni suru? Why waste it on us? Kimura asks the interpreter. He's Nisei, second-generation Japanese-American. His parents are in an internment camp in Arizona while he serves the country that imprisoned them. Because you're patients, he says. Not prisoners right now. Patients. The distinction makes no sense to them. In Japanese military, prisoners got nothing. Less than nothing. Certainly not precious medical supplies. 3 dental stations are running simultaneously. Stevens on the worst cases. 2 Army dentists on cavities, drilling, filling, cleaning, like a Detroit assembly line but for mouths. Yuki watches Tanaka in the chair. The drill enters the abscess. Pus drains. The smell is overwhelming, but Tanaka isn't screaming. The Novocaine works. American anesthetic actually works. Why such urgent dental care? The question hangs unspoken. Another woman is called forward. Sato. 26. Her front teeth are broken, jagged. She's been hiding it behind her hand for a year. Stevens examines, doesn't judge, starts working. Temporary caps, he tells his assistant. We'll need to make permanent ones later. Permanent? Later? Like they plan to keep treating them? The rain continues outside. Inside, it's a symphony of dental work. Drills, suction, spitting, rinsing. The Americans work for hours. No breaks, no food, just patient after patient. Kimura is called. She stands but doesn't move forward. Can't. Her secret will be revealed. The gold teeth taken from American corpses. I cannot, she says in broken English. Infection doesn't wait, Stevens says. Chair, now. One woman refuses to open her mouth. She's hiding gold teeth. Nurse Kimura has gold fillings, taken from dead American pilots. She opens her mouth. Stevens' flashlight illuminates them. 3 gold crowns, upper molars. The work is crude. Japanese military dentistry using American gold. Stevens pauses. He knows. Everyone knows. Japanese forces extracted gold teeth from American corpses. Standard practice. The gold went to the war effort. Shinda teki no ha. Dead enemy's teeth. Kimura says it. Confession. She can't meet his eyes. The gold in her mouth probably came from Bataan or Corregidor or a downed bomber crew. 2,000 pounds of dental gold collected by Japan during the war, each filling worth $35 in 1944. Blood money, literally. Stevens stares at the gold. His jaw tightens. The assistant notices. Tension fills the space. Should I extract them, sir? The question hangs. Other Japanese women are watching. They know about the gold. Some have it too. Taken from corpses. Fitted into living mouths. The ultimate dehumanization. Kimura waits for the pliers, for the extraction without anesthetic, for the justice she knows she deserves. When were these fitted? Stevens asks. Last year, after my teeth broke. Ordered? Yes. She's shaking now. Not from fear, from shame. She's been carrying dead Americans in her mouth, eating with their gold, speaking through their stolen teeth. The interpreter translates. Stevens processes. His brother died at Bataan. Maybe his gold is in this woman's mouth, maybe in another's. the circle of war's obscenity. "The infection is behind the gold," Stevens says finally. "I'll need to work around them." "Around them? Not extract them?" "Sir?" the assistant questions. "We don't take gold from patients. Living patients." The words hit Kimura like a physical blow. He knows what they are, knows where they came from, and he's leaving them. Comment below, what would you do in his position? Because this decision haunts military ethics debates. "But sir, the gold is hers now. We treat the infection. Not our job to be judges." The American dentist sees the gold and does something unexpected. "We don't take gold from patients, enemy or not. Keep them." Stevens says it while preparing the drill. Matter of fact, like it's obvious, like there's no question. Kimura starts crying, not from pain, from confusion, from a shame that has nowhere to go. "Rikai dekinai, I cannot understand." She says it through tears. In her world, enemies don't show mercy, especially not about something like this. Gold from their own dead. Stevens works around the gold crowns, careful, professional. The infection behind them is severe. He has to drill precisely. One wrong move could crack the gold, expose the nerve. "Why?" Kimura asks in English. "Your people. You're dead." Stevens pauses, looks at her. "Because I'm a dentist, not a grave robber, not a judge, a dentist." The U.S. Dental Corps treated over 50,000 POWs during the war. 0 reported gold extractions from living prisoners. 0. Even when they knew the gold came from American corpses. Dental infections spread to the heart and brain, fatal in weeks without treatment. That's why the urgency. That's why the resources. Preventing epidemic, preventing unnecessary death. "My brother died at Bataan," Stevens says suddenly. The tent goes silent. Even the rain seems to pause. Maybe this gold is his, maybe not. Doesn't matter, he's dead, you're alive. We treat the living. Kimura can't stop crying. The anesthetic makes half her face numb, but she feels everything. The weight of the gold, the weight of his mercy, the weight of a war that makes corpses into dental work. Stevens finishes the procedure. Infection cleaned. Temporary filling placed. The gold remains. Rinse. She rinses, spits. Blood and pus gone. Mouth clean for the first time in years. Next patient. But Kimura doesn't move, can't move. The gold in her mouth feels heavier now. Not physically. Morally. Stevens is already examining the next woman. Professional. Focused. Saving enemies who might have killed his brother. Then they notice something else. Then they notice something else. The dentist is crying too. Captain Stevens lost his brother at Bataan, killed by Japanese. He mentions it while working on Yuki's teeth. Casual, like discussing weather. But his hands shake slightly, just for a second. "Tommy Stevens, 2nd Lieutenant, Dental Corps 2. The interpreter translates. The Japanese women freeze. He's treating them while knowing they killed his family. 75,000 Americans captured at Bataan. 30% died in Japanese captivity, tortured, starved, executed. Tommy Stevens was one of them. Kataki no Isha, enemy's healer. That's what Yuki calls him. The phrase doesn't translate properly. In Japanese, it's a contradiction. You don't heal enemies, you destroy them. He wanted to be a dentist, Stevens continues. Like me, like our father, 3 generations of dentists. The drill, whirs, cleaning decay, saving teeth of the people who killed his brother. Got his acceptance to dental school the day before Pearl Harbor, never made it home. Yuki is frozen in the chair, not from fear now, from the weight of his words, his grief, his choice to heal anyway. "Why?" she manages in English. "Why help us?" Stevens stops, looks at her, really looks, 18 years old, younger than Tommy was, trained to hate, trained to die, just like Tommy was trained to heal. Because hate is poison. It rots you from inside, like an abscess. He returns to work, professional, steady. But tears are rolling down his cheeks. He doesn't wipe them, just keeps working. How can he treat enemies who killed his brother? The question burns through the tent. The other dentists notice. One approaches. Bill, you need a break? No, I need to finish. Tommy would want me to finish. The Japanese women watch this American cry while saving their teeth, while knowing they're the enemy, while his brother's corpse might be the source of gold in their mouths. He wrote me, Stevens says. Last letter. Said the Japanese prisoners needed dental care too. Said hate was the real enemy. Silence except for the drill. One young nurse starts sobbing uncontrollably during treatment. 18-year-old Yuki breaks. We were told you'd extract teeth for torture. She's sobbing so hard the chair shakes. Stevens has to stop working, can't operate on a moving target. Every film, every lecture. They said Americans collect teeth, said you'd pull them out one by one, make us talk, make us scream. Uso data. It was all lies. The revelation breaks her. Everything she believed, everything she was taught. Americans were demons, monsters. They'd torture first, kill second. 100% of Japanese nurses were shown propaganda films. Dental torture featured prominently. Pliers, no anesthetic, teeth as trophies. It was so specific, so detailed, so believable. Instead, she's in a chair, numb from Novocaine, being healed by someone whose brother her people killed. They lied to us, she gasps, about everything. The other women are listening, some nodding, others in denial. The propaganda was their reality for years. Letting go means admitting they were fools, admitting they served lies. Stevens waits patiently, lets her cry, offers a tissue. The film showed American dentists, real footage, they said, pulling Japanese teeth, collecting them, sending them home as souvenirs. We don't collect teeth, Stevens says quietly. We fix them. But they showed us pictures. Fake, or taken out of context. Propaganda works both ways. Yuki can't stop crying. The cognitive dissonance is destroying her. If this was a lie, what else was? If Americans aren't monsters, then who was? My uncle was a dentist, she says suddenly, in Tokyo. He refused to pull American POW teeth when ordered. They shot him. Stevens stops, processes this. Your uncle was a good man. They said he was a traitor. He was a dentist. The distinction matters. Healer versus soldier. Human versus propaganda tool. Yuki's crying slows, the truth settling like sediment, heavy, undeniable. I would have pulled teeth, she confesses. If ordered, I would have done it. But you didn't. Only because I was captured first. The dentist stops working and shows them something that changes everything. Stevens shows photos of Japanese-American dentists treating U.S. soldiers. He pulls out a small album from his bag, flips it open, points to a picture. Japanese face. American uniform. Dental Corps insignia. Lieutenant Yamamoto, my roommate in dental school. He's treating Marines at Guadalcanal while his parents are in an internment camp. The Japanese women stare. Can't comprehend. Japanese Americans serving the country that imprisoned their families? Onaji kuni no teki. Enemies of same blood. 3,000 Japanese American medical personnel served in World War II. Their families locked in camps, property seized, rights stripped. Still they served. Still they healed. This one, Stevens points to another photo. Captain Tanaka, best oral surgeon in the Pacific, saved hundreds of American faces blown apart by Japanese grenades. His sister died in Manzanar camp, heart condition, no proper medical care. The cognitive dissonance is breaking them. Japanese faces in American uniforms, healing Americans, while America imprisoned their families. Why, Kimura asks? Why would they serve? Because healing transcends hatred. That's what my brother wrote. That's what he believed. Stevens shows another photo. His brother Tommy with a Japanese-American dentist. Both smiling, both in uniform, both dead now, one at Bataan, one in Italy with the 442nd Regiment. They were friends. died on opposite sides of the world, for the same country that treated one as hero, one as suspect. The women pass the photos, each image reshaping their reality. Japanese Americans treating Americans, Americans treating Japanese, the lines blurring, humanity emerging. "Your military told you we were monsters," Stevens says. "Our propaganda said the same about you. Both were wrong. We're all just people with bad teeth." It's absurd enough to be true. The Great War, the racial hatred, the propaganda, and underneath it all, cavities, abscesses, the need for dental care. Yuki laughs through her tears. Hysteria, maybe, or recognition. The absurdity of trying to hate someone fixing your teeth. Healing transcends hatred. Stevens repeats his brother's words. "That's why I'm here. That's why you're alive." 3 months later, something extraordinary happens. Japanese nurses start teaching oral hygiene to other POWs. February 1945, same camp. Expanded now. Hundreds of POWs. The 38 nurses have become dental assistants, teaching what Stevens taught them. Brush twice daily, up and down, not side to side. Yuki demonstrates on a makeshift model, carved wood teeth, real toothbrush, American toothpaste. The POWs watch like she's performing magic. Isha no yakusoku. Healer's promise. That's what they call it. The promise to pass on healing, even to enemies, even to those who might have tortured them if roles were reversed. Dental disease dropped 80% in POW camps with education programs. Simple teaching, basic hygiene, lives saved through toothbrushes. Kimura works with Stevens now, translating, assisting, still carrying the gold teeth, but using her mouth to heal others. The irony isn't lost on her. "Tell them about flossing," Stevens says. She translates. The POWs look confused. "Flossing? With string? Americans clean between teeth?" "It prevents heart disease," Kimura explains. "Bacteria from teeth enters bloodstream, reaches heart, kills." The connection between oral health and heart disease, revolutionary in 1945. The POWs listen, learn, some taking notes. Comment below. Did you know dental disease could kill? Because these POWs didn't until Americans taught them. What happens when war ends? The question lurks. These women, these skills, this knowledge. Tanaka, the senior nurse, organizes classes, proper brushing technique, signs of infection, when to seek help. She's teaching enemies who would have let her die. "Why help them?" a new American guard asks Stevens. "Because disease doesn't check uniforms. Epidemic here means epidemic everywhere. Practical, not moral. But the Japanese women hear something deeper, shared vulnerability, shared humanity. The camp has become a dental school. Enemy teaching enemy, healing spreading like infection in reverse. One woman pulls Kimura aside, whispers urgently, "I have gold too, American gold. What should I do?" Kimura touches her own gold teeth, the weight still there. The shame transformed into something else. But one woman makes a request that shocks everyone. Kimura asks to have the gold removed. It's not mine to keep. She approaches Stevens after morning clinic. He's cleaning tools, looks up, sees her face, knows what's coming. "The gold, I want it out." "Why now?" "Because I know whose it might be, your brother, others. It belongs to their families. Tsumi no omosa. Weight of sin. She's been carrying it for months now, but since learning about Tommy Stevens, since seeing those photos, the gold feels different. Not just metal, memory, grief, stolen last pieces of dead sons. Stevens sets down his tools. "It'll hurt. The teeth underneath are probably dead. You'll need replacements." "I know." "You might lose those teeth entirely." "I know." 500 pounds of dental gold were returned to Allied families post-war, extracted from captured enemies, returned with apologies, small comfort for massive loss. "I can do it tomorrow," Stevens says, "but I need you to be sure. I've been sure since you told me about your brother." Other nurses are listening. 3 more have American gold, all considering the same choice. Return what was stolen, even if it means losing teeth. Will you send it to families? Kimura asks. Red Cross handles that. They track serial numbers when possible, dental records, try to match gold to specific soldiers. The specificity makes it worse, not anonymous gold, someone's son, someone's father, someone's brother. Do it, she says, please. Stevens nods, makes notes. Prep for extraction. It'll be complex. The Japanese dentist who installed them used crude methods, might have to break them out in pieces. What about after? Kimura asks. My teeth? We'll make bridges, temporary ones. You won't be toothless. Even now, even extracting blood gold, he's ensuring she won't suffer unnecessarily. The next morning, Kimura is in the chair. No Novocaine this time. She insisted. Penance, she calls it. The pliers grip the first gold crown. Stevens pulls. It cracks, comes out in pieces. Blood fills her mouth. The war ends, but their story is just beginning. 1965. Kimura meets the widow of the pilot whose gold she carried. San Francisco, 20 years later. The Red Cross traced the gold through dental records. Lieutenant James Mitchell, B-17 pilot, shot down over Philippines, 1944. Mrs. Mitchell is 60 now, gray hair, kind eyes, holding a small envelope. The gold, 3 crowns, her husband's last remains. Yurushi wa Iyashi. Forgiveness heals. Kimura says it in Japanese first, then English. She's learned the language, became a dental hygienist in occupied Japan, then immigrated. Now she teaches oral hygiene in California schools. He had terrible teeth, Mrs. Mitchell says suddenly, laughs through tears, always eating candy. I told him they'd rot out. Both women cry, the absurdity, the pain, the strange circular journey of gold teeth from American mouth to Japanese mouth to widow's hands. Why return it? Mrs. Mitchell asks. You could have kept it. No one would know. Captain Stevens would know. I would know. You deserve to know. They sit in silence. 2 women connected by war's strangest thread, death and teeth and gold and guilt. 89 Japanese nurses testified about POW treatment after the war. 100% praised the dental care. It changed them, broke their propaganda, rebuilt their humanity. Many became dental hygienists in occupied Japan, teaching American methods, preventing the infections that almost killed them, the knowledge that saved them becoming their life's work. He would have liked this, Mrs. Mitchell says. Jim, knowing his death led to healing, he was like that. They exchange addresses, Christmas cards for years after. 2 women who should be enemies, connected by gold and grief and grace. Yuki is there too. She's a dental surgeon now. First woman admitted to Tokyo Dental College post-war. Stevens wrote her recommendation letter. Show us your teeth became show us your humanity, she says. We expected monsters, found healers. The reunion ends, but the story continues. These women, these teeth, these choices. Captain Stevens has one final revelation. Stevens kept every thank you letter from Japanese POWs, hundreds, his office, 1975, retiring after 30 years, boxes of letters, different languages, same message, you saved more than teeth. He reads Yuki's letter aloud to his assistant. You showed us humanity when we expected monsters. Every tooth you saved a soul. Hawa inochi. Teeth are life. 4,000 letters from Japanese POWs thanking medical staff. Preserved in military archives, evidence that healing transcends war. This one's from Kimura, Stevens continues, sent every year on the anniversary of treatment, November 15th. The day he chose not to extract gold. The day he chose healing over judgment. She never forgot, never stopped writing. Dear Captain Stevens, I teach children to brush now, American children, Japanese children, all children. When they ask why teeth matter, I tell them about you. His assistant is crying now. She's Vietnamese. Another war, another enemy turned ally, the cycle continuing. Did you ever see them again? She asks. Kimura visited last year, brought her granddaughter, dental student at UCLA. the generational impact. One decision in a POW camp, choosing healing, creating healers, rippling through decades. Stevens pulls out the photo album, same one he showed the POWs, adds new pictures, Kimura's granddaughter, Yuki at her dental school graduation, Tanaka teaching hygiene in occupied Japan, enemies becoming healers, healers teaching healers, the chain unbroken. My brother was right, Stevens says. Healing transcends hatred. The final photo, Stevens and Kimura, 1974, both gray, both smiling. Her bridges visible where gold once was, his brother's philosophy proven true. Show us your teeth, Stevens says. Such a simple command. Who knew it would change everything? The letters keep coming, even after his death. POWs, their children, grandchildren, all connected by a moment when fear became care, when enemies became patience, when teeth became the bridge between humanity and hatred. Show us your teeth became the moment enemies became patience, the moment healing won,